Welcome to Trenchometry. If you've spent any time in or around the trenches, playing offensive line isn't just blocking. It is chess at light speed. You're controlling angles while a 280-pound defender tries to destroy your running back. Every snap, calculating leverage, mirroring footwork, and anchoring against pure violence. Miss one step and your franchise player gets flattened. We're here to discuss the most undervalued aspect of the game of football, the offensive line. Remember, you master the trench, you win the war. My guest today started his playing career at Goochland High School outside Richmond, Virginia. There, he was all region and all metro before taking his talents to the alma mater of a nation in Williamsburg, Virginia. I'm glad to brag on him because we both share Cary Field and Zabel Stadium in our playing careers. He's just finished his redshirt sophomore season and his 20th career start. He has played tackle and right guard for the tribe of William and Mary and is currently pursuing his MBA. He is an all-Colonial Athletic Conference Commissioners all-academic team member and has started his own business, Underdogs OL, where he coaches and mentors high school and middle school offensive linemen. Hayden Raley, welcome to Trenchometry.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Hey, this is cool, man. First, before we even get going, I got to show you this piece of history just to let you see what it used to look like back in the day. You get a little peek up inside there and see that right there. I will say this right here never lost to Richmond. It's 5-0 against Richmond. I might send that up to you guys. Send that up to you guys for some good luck. You can wear that next year in the Richmond game and make it 6.
I love that logo, the tribe scribe. I wish we'd bring it back. And the axes on the back are so sweet too. We need something like that.
I miss that and the feathers.
Well, I miss the feathers. The best logo, I think.
Yeah, I agree. You mentioned the tomahawks there on the back. Back in the day, they only gave those 1 per game. That was it. I don't even remember what we had to do to get it. You had grade above a certain percentage or whatever, and you got the tomahawk. So that was a cool thing getting the tomahawks. But man, I'm telling you what, this is exciting. I reached out to you. I want to talk to some college offense linemen. I want to talk about what they're going through, what it's like, because college football nowadays, it's different than when I went through. Obviously, that was back in the Stone Ages. But you have so many more pressures on you to stay and play or go and play somewhere else, get in that portal, do all those kind of things. You got portal guys, I'm sure, coming into campus. You're going to have some new football players and teammates here Wednesday when your classes start. What's that mindset for you? How has that changed your focus, or has it changed your focus on the game of football at the college level for you?
So for me personally, I came in as a member of the tribe. I will finish as a member of the tribe. To me, the degree and the network that you gain from this place is far superior than any other opportunity that you can get at the other level. Now, the way that's impacted our team is we've had, I want to say 8 or 10 guys enter the portal so far. And I think so far, pretty much all of them have found a new place to go. And a lot of the mindset coming in as freshmen is, okay, I'm going to come in at a smaller school and then work my way, get some film, and then hopefully transfer to a bigger school. I think that's an awful way of doing business, but that's just the reality of how it is, I think. So far, we've had some guys go up another level. We've had some guys go down another level. So the way with how the portal works, it is just such a gamble of entering your name in there. And I just saw something before I hopped on here. So to get into the portal, a lot of these guys are taking agents. And these agents are hyping them up, telling them what they want to hear before they enter the portal. And then when they get in the portal, they don't get what they're looking for. And then that leaves those guys kind of stranded per se, or they can either go down, stay in the portal, or try to come back to your school. And what you're seeing a lot of now, which I'm a big fan of, is these schools that the school you tried to leave, they don't want you back. Because I think what these programs want, and the successful programs have loyal players. You look at programs like Clemson, I know they've struggled, but they've always stick to their roots of not going in the portal. Honestly, we have here at William Mary, we've been successful in really developing our freshmen too. So it's something. With all the NIL too, guys are just chasing money. It's kind of ruining the sport.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. Hayden and I talked a little bit earlier before we got on here, and I have a commonality with him. I didn't even realize until I was doing some research for bringing Hayden on here, and that his dad and I were competitors. His dad is a UVA football player, and I played UVA 2 or 3 times. And one of those times, my last time playing UVA, his dad was actually a freshman at UVA playing football. So we actually competed against each other back in the Stone Age, which is pretty cool. But bringing up UVA, we had one of our former running backs that came through our pipeline down here in Naples and had gone on to other schools, had been at a school and was solicited. I guess, I don't know if solicited is the right word, but poached, I guess, from the
Mhm.
school he was at with a promise to come to UVA. And they literally broke the NIL contract with him and uninvited him 4 days before he was supposed to show up on campus. He'd gone through the portal, signed all his paperwork, was getting ready to go, was literally en route to UVA, and they broke the NIL. Now they paid him out everything, like as far as the business deal goes, they paid out whatever the penalties were and cut bait with him. But there, you mentioned it, he was without a school. He literally going into this was like the last week of May, second to last week of May. He doesn't have a school to go to, so he was stuck kind of high and dry and scrambling to find a place to play football so he didn't lose a year of eligibility sitting out,
Mhm.
not even in school, which was unfortunate for him. But yeah, I mean that's kind of the underbelly and dark side of things that I don't know, man. I just think you can get there's certain dollar amounts that you kind of like you have to like it's a once in a
Yeah,
lifetime. You kind of got to do that.
absolutely.
Beyond that, if you're just chasing another $10 or $20,000 or $30,000, what are you giving? Like you could be at a school, be very successful, and then jump in that portal and leave. You got to learn a whole new system. You got all new people. You got to learn a whole new routine.
Yeah.
I don't know how these guys that are in 2, 3 schools in 2 or 3 years, how are they going to end up? Like, there's no way their college credits are transferring, right?
Well, yeah, like, not all the time, like, if you come to William Mary, like, you have to take the college curriculum, and
Yeah.
I'm sure it's like that at a lot of other places. To me, what I don't understand is, like, I have a lot of really good friends on this team, and, like, why would you ever wanna
Mm,
sacrifice that and be disloyal to the people that you put blood, sweat, and tears in with every
mhm,
day to go chase something else with a bunch of random other people you've never met. You look at a team that was in the CAA that they still are Campbell. Each year, their entire roster is just made up of portal guys like
turns over.
dudes dudes from LSU, dudes from other ACC schools, and you on paper they're like, wow, like these guys are got to be insane, right? And then you go and play against them, and they're so undisciplined. You can see that they have no chemistry, and I think that's just such an important thing that people don't really see in the portal. And also, like, I mean, this is my home. Like, why would you want to move halfway across the country and just not know anybody?
Yeah.
I don't think it's worth it. Especially like you said for like $10,000 or $20,000. But like you said, there's different thinking when somebody's throwing you $1,000,000,
Yeah.
$500,000.
Well, hey, now I'm gonna encourage you if UVA comes after you and offers you $500,000, you go. That's a
That'd be
good deal,
cool.
man. You can call your buddies and FaceTime them
Yeah,
if you need to, but
yeah.
that'll get your
It's funny.
Underdogs OL going off pretty good, pretty quick. I bet you could
Yes,
build
sir.
kind of a small facility there and get going, man.
Yes, sir. It's funny you say that. Like you said, mention my dad. UVA was my dream school my entire life. I grew up a
Mhm.
UVA fan, and it really sucked not being able to give. I wasn't given an opportunity to play there. So I, one of the reasons why I'm at William Mary is because Coach London obviously was at UVA,
Mhm.
and growing up, I watched Coach London every Saturday on the sideline, and my mom was all. I can remember her telling me, "I want you to play for that man one day. He doesn't just make good football players; he makes great men."
Yes, he does.
So that's really a full circle moment. It was also really cool to play against them last year.
Oh yeah.
Being able to like walk out on that field and play those guys was really cool. I can remember sitting up in the stands with my dad and be like, "Dad, I'm going to play on that field one day." I thought I was a Cavalier, but I'm
Hey,
just as happy as being a part of the tribe,
you
if not
fulfilled
more
it.
happy.
I kind of know what you're talking about. My dad was a United States Naval Academy graduate, and maybe my redshirt sophomore year, we got a chance to go up and play at the Naval Academy. And I remember standing out on the field looking up to the seats. My dad had season tickets, man. I used to go to season ticket
Hmm.
games at Navy all the time. And I remember looking up to where I used to sit as a little kid. And I've gone to the Navy versus William and Mary football games when I was a kid. So here I
Hmm.
was sitting there on the middle of the field looking up at these seats that I used to sit at, going, "Oh my gosh!" Like I stayed out on the field. The whole team's in the locker room. I stayed out on the field for them to sing their alma mater song, and
Hmm.
it was a special time, man. I really enjoyed it, so I can kind of
It's really
relate to
cool.
what you're going through there and what you're talking about. But you
Absolutely.
mentioned Coach London there. Coach London was the defensive line coach when I was at school, and he came in maybe after my freshman year to take over the defensive line, and he took over for Coach Huseman, who's now the head coach at Richmond,
Hmm.
as you know. And I tell you what, Coach London's story about why he got it, I'm sure he's shared this with you guys. Stop me if he or let me know if he hasn't, because it's worth saying about how he was a police officer. Have you
In
heard this?
Richmond. Yeah,
Yeah,
when he was in
tell that
Richmond
story
and
about Coach London, what got him into college coaching.
yes, Coach London was I think he got an opportunity to play for the Cowboys out of college, and then I don't think that went as planned, so then he decided to become a Richmond police officer.
Mhm.
I know Richmond's a pretty rough area, in some places, and from what I can remember from the story is it was a I don't know if it was some sort of raid on a house, I think, and he had a gun pulled on him right in front of his face, and the guy squeezed the trigger, but it did not go off.
Yeah, misfired.
Yeah, it's a powerful story that he shares with us, like,
And he
once
said
a
at that
year.
moment I knew I needed a new job. Thank
Yeah,
goodness he did, because he's had a lot of influence on a lot of young men coming through both
yes, he has.
UVA and Richmond, and won a national championship there at Richmond, and now hopefully leads you guys there again to those heights at William and Mary. That would be awesome. I tell you what, you have a you have a lot. I know there's a bunch of dudes from the class of 1993 looking to go celebrate a national championship somewhere. And if we ever make the basketball tournament, oh my gosh, there's going to be a bunch of 60-year-old dudes running around crazy at wherever they play, because we've already made a solemn vow to be there to support the tribe, no matter where that first round game is, and no matter where the national championship game is. You're going to have a bunch of crazy old dudes running around being out
I
of
love
control.
that,
That is
love
a
that.
promise.
The basketball team's really good this year too.
Yeah, hey, we've been there before though, man. We're like down to like one of I don't know what I don't remember what the number is, but it's like what, 8, 5, 3 or 3 to 8, something like that, schools that have never made the tournament, and we're one of them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we're 0 from 0 for 1693 forward. We gotta change that path, man. We gotta get it. Gotta get that fixed. All right.
Yeah, we
So
do.
as a college offensive lineman, you're getting ready to head into winter workouts here, right? That's
Yes, sir.
starting this week, starting up.
Yeah,
So
it
kind of
should.
take me through your mental approach to getting ready for next season. From now, we're in January now. From January until you step on the field in August. What's that mindset for you? How are you going about prepping yourself? And what
Mhm.
are the big hurdles you got to overcome here between now and August?
Yeah, so for the next 2 weeks, we'll just have weight room stuff, and we'll have some runs out on the practice field. The emphasis for that is really building endurance and getting your body ready. We call it contact prep, getting our body ready for contact again for spring ball,
Mm.
which we do it really early here, February 9th.
Oof.
So we're probably like the first program in the whole country to start. Usually those first 2 weeks of running and lifting, usually we're whistled through our lifts. It's a lot of conditioning. It's very intense. It's always we were mediocre last year. We've kind of always been pretty mediocre since I've been here. So it's like, okay, let's change the culture. These 2 weeks, we're gonna bust y'all. We're gonna bust your tails. We're gonna really lay it all out here for you guys. We want a big culture change. So that's tough. It's always a tough 2 weeks there, getting back in, especially coming off of a break. You know, some guys are lifting back home, some guys aren't. So it kind of really shows who's been putting in the work per se.
Yeah,
And then
I was a not lift guy. I was a not lift guy. These were the worst 2 weeks of the year by far.
yeah. And then we'll get into spring ball, and we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday,
Mm.
for 4 weeks. It's pretty good, I'd say. My first spring ball, I was extremely motivated to earn a spot, be a part, really have like be a contributor on the team. So that spring ball went really well for me. I was really motivated. But the struggle I've kind of felt the past like 2 years was like it's February, you're not playing for a game. It's kinda hard to stay motivated, especially when, like, you've kinda been given a spot. Well, or I've earned my spot, I
Mhm.
think. But, when you're in a starting position and you don't have really anything you're working towards in, like, from a game standpoint, so it's really a battle. You like, me versus me every day to I take these reps not to get ready for a game, but to improve myself for farther down the road. So that's tough, it's cold out.
Little more intrinsic motivation there.
A lot
You gotta
more.
bring it
Yes, sir.
yourself.
Yeah, you gotta bring it. You gotta bring yourself. And it's me and the left tackle are only returning starters this year. So this is a big spring ball for a lot of guys. A
Mhm.
lot of kids in my class that really haven't had the opportunity to really show what they can do on the field yet. So this is really big for them. They got a center spot to fill, left guard spot. We kind of know who our right tackle is going to be. So big spring ball for these guys. I'm ready to kind of be the head guy in the room and motivate these guys and push them to where I want them to be come August. And then after that, we lift and run 5 days a week from March through July 20th.
Wow.
So
Yes. That's a
Yeah,
long, long time for
it's a long haul. Being here over the summer when nobody else is here is definitely a grind,
you
but
need to buy that, season pass to Busch Gardens.
I did that my
There
freshman
you
year.
go.
It was
That
worth it.
kills
Yeah.
sometime, right?
Yeah, it does. So like at the beginning, right after spring ball, we really get into like the real lifting. Like it's time to get strong. It's time to get
Mhm,
fast. It's time to get quicker. We lift a lot heavier on a more structured, consistent program. On the field, we're out there doing speed work, trying to get faster. And the emphasis that it's been the past 2 years here for the linemen is we want our linemen in the best shape possible.
mhm,
So we do a lot of conditioning, and our conditioning isn't what you would really expect, like what you see on YouTube or like what you see on TV. We do a lot of short burst sled pushes, simulating like kind of like a drive, like a football
mhm.
drive, like a drive in a game. We do like we'll drive a really heavy sled for like 5 yards, and then the blow whistle, then we're up again, then we blow whistle, then we're up again, and then we get a little bit of rest. But it's kind of all functional, I would say.
Yeah. So, as you guys are moving into this period right now, it sounds to me like you are you are in a leadership position. You're the old dog now, man. You got to teach
Hmm.
all these new dogs new tricks. So you're going to be working on it sounds like leadership. Some you could be working on leadership skills this
Yes.
spring during spring practices. What's your leadership style going to be? Have you put any thought into that?
I've learned from my dad the best. He's always been in a big leadership role. He was the superintendent of schools all throughout my time in high school and middle school, and now he's the county administrator for the county of Goochland. So I've been very fortunate to see how he leads, and I think 100% I think the best way to go about is servant leadership. It's hard to do that, I would say, in like an offensive line room, strictly because it's not really like a real job out in the workforce. But like I think that the best way to be a leader is to put yourself down at their level, not be like a dictator, and just win everybody over with kindness and encourage, and just try to build guys up. I think I have a lot of experience that I can show, and I want to do that in a very encouraging way.
Yeah, I think your way's the best. I think what you just said is building those relational bonds and just a quick thought, if you're looking for leadership style, John Maxwell is an author who is a phenomenal he's like the go-to leadership kind of author in my mind that has so many good books out there on leadership and his he wrote from a perspective of being a pastor in a church, and his
Mhm.
point was if you're gonna be a leader in the church, that's the best way to learn leadership because nobody has to be there. If they don't like the way you're doing it, they'll just stop showing up to the church. And so
Yeah.
he really honed his leadership skills and qualities through church leadership and leading people in his church in the right direction. And so his servant leadership ideas are very prevalent in his writing. And so if you got like you have a whole lot of time where you're studying. But Phil, he's got some shorter books too. John Maxwell, 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership is a great one
Okay.
to start on, and it's got some practical stuff you can look at if you're looking for things to do. But what he teaches in that book is developing those bonds of relationship. You can exert those things and use those bonds for influence, and you're trying to influence those guys, and that's what leadership is. It's influence, and so you're going to influence those young guys into to being hard workers, being prepared when they go out on the field. There's time to jack around and there's time to be serious and there's time to
Mhm.
focus and let's get in, get this work done, and then we can do whatever we want to. And you can
Yeah.
lead by example and all that kind of stuff, like you're saying. So I think that's exciting for you, man. I think that's kind of a cool,
Okay.
like kind of pushing you out of your comfort zone or stretching your talents, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so as you said earlier, you're getting that MBA, you're going to be in a situation where you're going to have people in a business, you're going to have to lead, you're going to have to make decisions and get people to follow what you want to get done, you know? So what a great practical environment, practical learning environment for you to be in
Mhm.
this spring. Have a bunch of young
Yeah.
guys looking at you and be like, hey man, I don't know what I'm doing. Just this is what
I
we're gonna
got
do.
you.
So yeah,
Yeah.
follow me. Let's
Yeah,
go
and
this way.
I've been really lucky. My past 3 years here, I've had great mentors to look up
Mhm.
to, specifically Ryan McKenna. He was our center the past 2 years, and I can't imagine it's gonna be hard for me to, like, play next to somebody else. Like, that man has showed me so much. Like, he's really taught me how to play offensive line, I would say, more than anybody, and he's really taught me how to be a good leader. So I owe a lot to him, and I've learned a lot from him. So I'm really excited to
That's
put what he's taught me into use.
that's a great person to look after. Like walk on, team captain, right?
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes.
coming from nobody wanted him to everybody thinks he's the best dude around. That's a
Yeah.
pretty good story to overcome
Yeah,
there.
first team all conference too, I think.
Hey, Ryan, congratulations, man. You heard it here first. Breaking news. Dee-dee, right? That's phenomenal. Okay, so let's get into some specifics here about football. As you go into spring football, what's your from a player's perspective, what's your hated drill, most hated drill out there on the field?
We do this thing called pressure wave. It's simulating the end of a one-on-one. So it's just it's really hard to explain. It's a lot of cardio. One guy's on offense, one guy's on defense, and one guy's just constantly rushing you and trying to get past you, but you just have to it's another offensive lineman, but you just have to keep length and keep your feet hot and while you're like moving back like 20 yards. It's the drill goes for like 30. It's pretty much the best way to put it. It's like a 30-second one-on-one.
Okay, there you go.
So it's a lot of cardio. And then we also do I always butcher the name. We call it GFP, I think. It's a conditioning circuit that we do. We kind of got away from it a little bit, but when we do it sucks. It consists of we do one drive block, one pass set, and then we'll do like a third kind of like it changes every time. Like med ball slams or like backward. We like drag somebody 10 yards, and then at the end of those three, we have to sprint 10 yards and back. That's a lot too. So
Just
that's
crushing your
fine.
system.
Yeah, it's just. But hey, we're very conditioned.
Yeah.
So
Well,
any conditioning drill, I would say, is definitely my least favorite.
okay, so true offensive lineman at heart. Anything
Yeah,
of conditioning is something I'd like to cross off the practice schedule as soon as I see it.
correct.
Right. So then go to the other side of the coin. Then
Also,
go ahead.
I've actually I have to you will understand this too. 9-on-7 inside run.
Yeah.
If we could just do away with that too.
Yeah.
Luckily, we only do that once a week, but it is absolute all out war because
Not
everybody
fair.
knows it's a run. It's not
Yeah.
fair. No, it's not
It's not fair. They never play safeties in a box like that. That's
fair.
and they always told me, well, the quarterback and running back count. I'm like, no, they
No, they
don't.
don't. They're not
They're
doing
not doing
anything.
anything.
Yeah,
Don't lie to me
it's
like
awful.
that. That's insane. All right, so go to the other side of the coin there. What's something that you enjoy? What's your favorite? What do you look forward to at practice?
I've never really thought about that, to be honest with you. I would say our everyday drills. I love just honing down on like the fundamentals because
Mhm.
I think when like you can always fall back on your fundamentals. So I always try to take that portion of practice very seriously. I always try. I mean, I take everything seriously. Don't get me wrong, but like the basics of what we do every single day, from just like I'm always trying to get extra reps of combos between me and my
Mhm.
tackle, me and my center, and then the other fundamentals of just like taking a set and striking. I think those are my favorite parts of practice because those are the most practical.
Yeah, those you're gonna use those over and over and over again.
Yes,
And that
sir.
the combo in between your wingman, the guard, and the from guard, the tackle, and the center there, it takes a lot of just reps to get to know the dude next to you,
Yeah, it
right?
really
And
does.
you're gonna have new guys there, so it's even you don't even have the old reps to fall back on. You're gonna have to develop those
Mhm,
new tendencies and communications and feel and know where the hands go and your eyes go and pad level and it's
mhm,
all gonna be different now, and you're gonna have different dudes on coming in
mhm.
and out on every rep now as new guys are coming in, so that's you do have a lot of you do have a lot of hard work ahead of you there. Those are not easy
Yeah,
things to figure out for sure.
yeah. This spring ball it is gonna be a lot. It's more than I expected. Like our right tackle, the guy who played last year was like 6'3", and then the guy who's gonna be there now is like 6'8". So we're gonna have to work on our hip shoves on the right
Mhm.
side. Make sure he gets down into that hip good.
Yeah, he's you might be off level. You might
Yeah,
be
we're
off
gonna be
pad
off
level.
level a
I
little
was
bit.
I
Yeah.
was thinking back to our spring ball, and we didn't have back when I was in school, we the baseball field was right there where you guys practice, where the
Interesting.
behind the stadium there. That was all the baseball stadium. So the Laycock
Interesting.
Center was that took off part of the field there, but that the home plate was back kind of in the corner where the Laycock Center and the stadium meet. That's about
Okay.
where home plate was. Well, that was our practice field out there. But in the summer or in the spring, we didn't have that practice facility because the baseball team was playing. So we had to
Mhm.
jump on the bus and go out to the out Richmond Road out off campus, and we practiced our spring practices off campus
Hmm.
out by Southern State's Mental Institute. So we'd have the guys like
Mhm.
there'd be people out there that were on their walk in the afternoon that were in their gowns and just kind of hanging on the fence and staring at us. And it was an interesting
I
probably
think that's where the
20-minute bus
baseball
ride.
fields are now.
Yeah,
Is that
exactly.
yeah,
That's
okay,
yeah. So they
okay.
switched. They put the baseball field out there, and but that's where our spring practices were. So we'd have to
Interesting.
get dressed, get on one of the campus buses, and they would bus us out.
Ugh.
I don't know, it was probably 10, 15 minute.
Yeah.
bus
It's
ride
like
for
10
sure.
minutes. Yeah, it stinks.
Oh, yeah, and then when the sun went down, oh, brother, it would be Williamsburg, it'd be 90 degrees and the sun went down and it would drop to 55, like that,
Mhm.
and you'd be standing on the field and you're just shaking and cold, and you had a
Yeah.
20-minute bus ride back to get everybody on
I've
the
been
bus
there.
before man, to walk into the practice facility like you guys can't do now, that's such a luxury. I'm so thankful and happy for you guys to do that, but oh my gosh, completely different world for me in
Yeah.
spring football. We used to have a defensive lineman that would just as we got closer to the facility, he would just cuss louder and louder and louder and louder as we went out to every spring practice, and it was just one of those traditions of spring football that Dave Flynn would just lose his mind as we got closer and closer to the spring practice facility, and he'd get
That's
off the bus, and he'd
hilarious.
be in a full frenzy of just pissed, and, not good memories of Dave beating on me and knocking me down, that's for sure.
But that's a good memory, though. You'll never forget
D
that.
Dave Flynn was a hysterical dude, man. He did all sorts of things, and God rest his soul, he's not with us anymore, but, that hearing him cuss just not he wasn't in a frenzy and pissed because he wanted to beat people. He was pissed that he had to go to practice. That
Yeah.
was his thing. He didn't wanna have to go to practice, and so he was upset that spring ball was ruining his spring Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. That's
Yeah. The spring semester is great, so I get that. You wanna have as much free time during the spring as you can.
That's 100% right. All right, so let's talk now. As you get through you're doing your heavy lifting, you're doing your this 2 weeks of contact prep, then you're going to doing your spring ball. Hopefully, you come out of spring ball healthy and you don't have to worry about healing too much after that. You're gonna go into your 5-day off-season winter workout, conditioning,
Mhm.
lifting, all that kind of stuff. And then are you guys doing any type of teamwork? Are you doing, um, other than the conditioning, are you doing, like, offensive line
Yeah.
meetings? Are you doing anything prep-wise that to get you ready for on the field stuff?
Mhm. So, yeah, so something we've always done, like, field work, like, individual drills, like, out in the field, like, twice a week, and we'll continue to do that, but something I wanna implement, I don't know yet as an entire offense, but definitely as an offensive line room, is coming in at least once a week and just, like, watching a game from
Okay.
last year and maybe even, like, an NFL game that they run, like, a similar offense to us,
Mhm.
and just watching that and going through it and seeing what can we correct here, what could this guy have done better. I think that's something we haven't done before, that's something we are definitely gonna do this year. And then we've always done walkthroughs throughout the spring and then throughout the summer. Just we're out there for like 30 minutes just walking through plays on air. But it's good, so we do all those installs in the spring and summer, and then right when we get to camp, like, we're just ready to go.
Ready to go, yeah. So you're focusing on it's all mental reps there.
Yeah. All
Yeah.
mental reps and during the walkthroughs, yeah. We're not
And
we're not hitting anybody.
are the specialist guys, are they doing 7 on 7 and all that kinda stuff, like running routes on that
Yeah.
kinda
They
stuff, or
do they do 7-on-7 like once or probably once a week, but they do routes on air. The offense does routes on air, like, probably twice a week.
okay. And so you guys get to camp and you're doing I swear my freshman year, it was the last year of the old NCAA rules, I swear our camp was 4 weeks long. We had a freshman only camp for 3 days, maybe
Oh,
3 or 4 days, where just the new freshmen that were recruited came in. That's it. There's no upper class guys or nothing. We had 2 days with just the freshman 30 guys that were there. So you'd have an offensive position in the morning, a defensive position in the afternoon, and then the rest of the team came in. Then the varsity team came in, and from there I swear we did 22, 21, or 22 days of two-a-days. It was the
that's
entire
awful.
month of August. I swear it was the longest month of my life.
Mm.
But you guys aren't doing that anymore. You guys are doing
No.
a prune down couple you guys don't even go 2 days in a row, right? You go
No,
2
we
days
don't.
and 1 day off?
No, no, no. We go 6 days a week, but we don't do 2-a-days. We're actually very fortunate. We have a pretty easy camp schedule. Well, it's not easy, but a lot more laid back than a lot of
Mhm.
other programs, and we're very fortunate for Coach London for that. But it usually consists of a lift in the morning, meetings and film throughout the day, and then treatment and rehab, and then we usually practice at night around like 6 o'clock, and then we have dinner after that. But ours isn't too bad. We only practice once a day,
Dude,
and then as
you don't
the
know how good you have it, man. That's like
yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And then as we get, like, closer to, like, the season starting and, like, the guys in the NBA program
Mhm.
start to have their they call it boot camp, which I'll have to go through this year, which kinda sucks. I'll have to do camp and school at the same time. First time doing that, but then we'll practice in the mornings from, like, 6 to 8:30.
During
I honestly prefer that more, like, in the
once
morning.
classes start, you guys go in the morning, or is that just those
That's
last
like
week or two
That's like the
before school
last week or
starts.
2. Yeah.
Okay. So
That's like the
before
last
school
week or
starts.
2. Yeah.
Okay. So we've had down here, we've had to do a couple early morning practices because of weather. Like we've gone, we have the wet ball. Do you guys have a wet ball reading and all that kind of stuff at the collegiate level?
I don't know what that is.
So we have wet bulbs. So humidity index with
Oh, yes, I know
temperature,
what that is.
all that kind of crap. Well, if it gets on the index to a certain level, we we can't practice in pads. So then you got to
Mhm,
take your pants off. You got to take your pants pads off, and then you got to take your shoulder pads off, and then you can't practice. So we're down here
mhm,
in Southwest Florida, and the wet bulb literally will take practices away from us. So we'll go
mhm,
out, we'll get 20 minutes, the wet bulb hits its reading, and then we're done. So there was like this year during camp or during August, I think they went 6 or 7, 8 days and only had maybe 2 full practices in 8 days
mm,
because of wet bulbs or lightning and thunder and all that. So they'll end up going at 5 in the morning. And I tell you what, as a coach, I thought that was you get in, you get your work done, you're done
and
by
you're done.
7, everybody's there, you don't have we had everybody show up. It was awesome. And then you could grade all the film and watch film after school and put the whole thing to bed. The
Yeah.
problem for me was by the time you got to Friday, if you had early mornings Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, by the time you got to Friday, your body clock was you were done, man. You were up at three
Mhm.
thirty, 4 o'clock in the morning going to practice at 5. And by Friday night at 9:30, I was like, my eyelids were getting ready. There wasn't any gas left in the tank for me.
Yeah.
But that's awesome. You guys go early and get it out of the way so you can get all your
I like
regular stuff done.
I like it that way.
And then you guys are what's your off day during the week typically for y'all?
In camp, it's on Sunday. During the season, it's Monday, which is
Monday.
great.
Okay.
Monday's great.
So you guys don't have anything at all, no lifting, no meetings?
Oh, we have academic meetings. I'll leave
Okay.
it at that. I don't
Academics, chalk talks.
Yeah, correct.
Spelling tests that consist of E's and T's and M's and W's and S's, right?
In a big board that has other grown men running around on.
Oh, that's phenomenal. And then, so your week routine typically is you guys practice in afternoons. Then at that point, Tuesday,
Mhm.
Wednesday, Thursday,
Yeah.
Friday with
We
a
have
travel day or walkthrough.
Yeah. We have meetings, a team meeting at 2:15, and then after that, we go special teams, O&D, offense and defense, and then we are on the line for practice at 3:45 till about 6 o'clock, and then it's like ice treatment, and
Mhm.
then dinner, and then that's Monday. So Monday, no, not Monday. Sorry, Tuesday is like a full pad practice. Wednesday is we call it shells. You guys would probably call it uppers back in the
Mhm.
day.
Mhm.
Thursday is we have spider pads. They're like kind of like foam pads. They're kind of like lacrosse pads, I would
Yeah.
say. And then Friday is a walkthrough, or we have a walkthrough no matter what if we travel or not.
Is that to cut down on the banging? The physical banging that you guys do on Thursdays?
Yeah, Thursdays are very much like a fast. It's a jog through. Like we're barely hitting each other. Like if there's a guy that's going hard on a Thursday, we're like, look at this guy, like scout team All American. We don't. It's very and we don't wear our knee braces on Thursday too. So
Okay.
especially if a dude's going try hard, we're like, wow, dude, you're trying to get us hurt or something for a
Yeah.
game. So yeah, we Thursdays are very chill.
See, I'm thinking back, we would watch film on Sundays, and then we
Hmm.
practiced Monday nights, Tuesday afternoon, Wednesday afternoon, and then Thursday, we were by midseason, we might be in uppers, but for the first part of the season, we were typically full pads on Thursday,
Ooh.
which was it was a lot of banging going on, especially that freshman year when you do you know Andy Lynn from Lafayette High? Have you had a chance to run into him or meet him at all by
No,
any chance?
no, sir.
He's up there at Lafayette. He's the head coach at Lafayette, and Andy was a fifth year when I was a freshman, and so they just we had drills that they created one drill where you would stand. They had the freshman offensive lineman standing in front of this big kind of I don't know 6 by 8 pad on the ground, and the coach wanted the upper class guys to work on rolling their hips. So we just got to sit there and we were the human hip rolling, pin cushion absorbing shock absorbers and just got blasted for 10 minutes or how I don't know. It seemed like 6 days, but it was probably 3 or 4 minutes. But oh my gosh. So they weren't as nice to us back then as they're nice to you guys,
No,
that's for
no,
sure.
we got it good. Coach London treats us very well.
And then when we got out of practice, we'd always have the cafeteria. I think we get out of practice at 6. I think the cafeteria closes at 6:30. And the other place, which isn't even there anymore, it used to be in the basement across the Jamestown Road and what used to be the student union or student center,
Yeah,
which I don't think that's there anymore. But they had some cafeteria, some food down there, but that closed at 6:30. Or no, that closed at 7, but you only got like $6 to eat. That was like a $6 credit. So
Yeah.
you could get like a hamburger and a drink or something. Like you were constantly hungry after practice. Is that you guys have opportunity to get food now? Has
Yeah,
that changed?
I'm pretty sure the dining hall is open till midnight every night, which is great, but I don't really use the dining hall. I'm off campus now. The first 2
Okay.
years you have to live on campus, but I'm off campus now, so I in season, I eat a lot of Chipotle. So I'm
Okay.
going to Chipotle or Cava or Moe's or Panda Express pretty much every day after practice. I'm
No,
not cooking after a long Tuesday
do,
practice.
do those places take meal credits by chance?
No, no, no.
Oh
That's
man.
just straight stipend money from our
Got it.
scholarships.
Got it. Got
Yeah.
it. Gosh, that one year they did, Pizza Hut started taking college cash or whatever they called it,
Yeah.
tribe cash or whatever, and, they did that for 1 year, and I think my house was the guy said, "Wow, this is quite an honor to deliver the pizza here," and I said, Why is that?" He goes, "You guys are the biggest pizza consumer per capita in all of Williamsburg in this address," and I was like, "Yes." I said, "Does
That's
that give you a free
awesome.
pizza?" He's like, "Nope." I'm like, "Gosh, dang it," slammed the door and went back on my way.
That's awesome. Did you live with some other offensive linemen?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Couple
Okay.
couple offensive lineman guys. I had my one roommate was a, walk-on kicker who was, apparently he was an all district, from Northern Virginia. He was an all district defensive end, but he was like 5'8".
Wow.
But he was a really good kicker, but he walked on to be a kicker and never really caught on as a kicker. Then he was our film guy. He went and transferred over to filming. So he
Mhm.
would film practice, and I don't remember how much money he made filming, but it was an outrageous amount of money. Whatever it was thousands of dollars he earned filming our practices
It's
while
a
we're
good
out there
gig.
just slaving away and don't have dinner. Like we didn't have time to eat dinner and it cost us money to eat dinner and he's getting paid thousands of dollars to film us.
That's a good gig.
Back in the day, man, it's changed. It's funny to hear these. I'm glad it's changed for you guys. That's
Mhm.
awesome that it's changed because it was, man, it put hair on your chest to be a William Mary football player back in the day. Back in the
Um,
late '80s and early '90s, you had to be tough, man.
yeah, you think we have it good? You should see these guys at the big schools. They have everything. They have cafeterias in their football facilities
Oh yeah, oh
and
yeah.
with made to order everything they want and access to snacks and shakes whenever they want. We don't have that level, but we have it pretty good. So, I mean, when you get to, like that's just a kind of overkill I feel like for some of those guys. Like let they need to build some character too.
Yeah, they're so pampered, right?
Yeah, they are.
Absolutely pampered. I remember we get in trouble if you didn't check in to get ice and treatment by 8 a.m. You got sent upstairs to the football office. Of course, this is back when the football offices were in William and Mary Hall, and the training
Mhm,
room was in the basement of William and Mary Hall. So you'd have to show up there by 8 o'clock. If you weren't in by 8, you got in trouble, and they sent your name to the
mm.
coaching staff, and you got reamed out for not going to treatment in time. Back in the day, man. Back in the day.
Back in the day.
All right. So, what's your favorite play? What's your favorite scheme to run?
Inside zone,
Inside
absolutely,
zone.
yeah.
You like
Inside
being on the
zone,
front
yep.
side of it?
Front side, yeah. I love a good. Actually, no, I take that back. Actually, well, no, I keep my answer.
Yeah.
I love just like coming to the line of scrimmage. We're running inside zone to the right, and I see a 3 tech right there. I'm like, let's go. I'm gonna
You
take
can
this
just
dude for a ride.
you're just pushing her to the sidelines.
Yeah, and then I also just love if I'm on the backside of inside zone and we got a 3 tech and I got a combo with the tackle to the linebacker and I'm setting him up and then I feel my right tackle just come and hit him and I just feel and we jolt and then we're just going.
You hear the air kinda coming out of his lungs like, "Eh,"
Yeah.
as he gets hit in the
When he
ribs.
gets hit in the ribs, yeah. I like that, and then kind of similar to when we run gap scheme to my side to, like, the play side, if we have a 3 tech or a 2-eye, it's great, because we're doubling that guy, and in a gap scheme, we're looking to get a lot more horizontal movement, I would
Yeah.
say, instead of vertical and inside zone, so if I have a 3 tech, I'm setting him up, and then the tackle's coming and hitting his hip, and then I'm torquing him, and, I mean, that's how you get so many freaking pancakes. It's great, and then especially on a 2-eye, if you set him up and then the tackle has even, like, a more head of steam coming down to shove that hip, oh, that dude's gonna fly. So, that's probably it's not my favorite scheme, it's probably the most fun because you just feel that dude just fly, you
What
just throw
what are
him.
you guys using for bragging rights? Is it knockdowns? You keeping track during the game? You got a running tally in your
Yeah.
head?
We not I don't really keep track during the game, but after the when our coach grades our film, he usually has like a counter of like a pen, what we call a pin, is like a real like pancake, like a great block. Like you finish him, you land on top of him. But we have knockdowns, which is just like a knock, like you push the dude, he falls down, sort of
Yeah.
thing. To get a
Is
pin, it's really hard.
yeah,
It's really hard to get a pin.
for sure. Your biggest rival still Richmond? Most hated
Absolutely.
most hated game? Okay.
Hate them, hate them. It pains me that we haven't beat them. There's no worse feeling than after the game and just seeing them run on the field and take that cup and celebrate. Like, it sucks so bad that I haven't got to experience that.
Yeah. This
I
year,
hate
man.
them. I hate
This is
them.
our
Hate
year.
them. Yeah. We also hate Elon. They're not as bad as Richmond.
Well, is the changing of conferences gonna impact that? Are you guys still playing Elon, or will that be
No, that'll be done for the most part.
that'll just be an out of conference game if
Yeah,
they
I don't think we're gonna play them, but we still have Richmond. I'm pretty sure it's still at the end of the year. So
Yeah, I
I
saw the
hope this is
schedule.
the
It's
year.
definitely it's for sure the end of the season. I already looked at next
Yeah,
year's schedule up
awesome.
there at Richmond. Yeah, I was up there for the Richmond game this year, and we were out on the field, and I was just we were all I mean, it was kinda humorous to see a group of I don't know how many guys are out there, 30, 40 guys on the field, and we were all of us were yelling and talking trash across the field
I
to
love that.
Richmond as loud as we could, just screaming and yelling and calling them names.
Love that.
And that's I haven't stepped on the field in gosh, I'm 30, almost 35 years since I stepped on the field against Richmond. But it doesn't. It's always fun to yell at the Spiders
Yeah,
and
they
try to
suck.
get them off their game a little bit.
Their defensive line is just they suck. Like they like no, they're good, respectable players,
Mhm.
but their personalities are awful. I'll say his name because I don't like him, and I won't ever play against him. But this kid named Matai Fitz, he was a defensive lineman. He was a defensive tackle. I played against him 2 years in a row, and he just talks so much, and after the play, just gets does the most unnecessary things, and I hate those guys. Hate them.
Just getting under your
It's
skin.
hate him, and I'm glad I never have to play against him again. I would still love to beat the crap out of him.
One, oh, yeah, just one
But within the whistles.
within the rules. We don't
Yeah.
encourage dirty play here at Trenchometry. That's
No,
for sure. But within the whistle, between the whistles, between the white lines, it's all
yeah,
fair. It's all fair and love
it
game,
is.
love war and football.
Yes, sir.
That's interesting. So when I was back in school before James Madison left the CAA and went 1A, James Madison was a big and Delaware, like areas. Delaware was another school. Delaware was not like James Madison and Richmond. All three of those were kind of just like nasty, dirty. It's going to be a fist fight type of games. Now Delaware's
Mhm,
gone 1A now too, so that you kind of missed the opportunity to hate them. It's fun
mhm,
hating Delaware. I enjoy hating me some Delaware Blue Hen in there any chance I get, but those heated rivalries make it fun and give you something to look forward to. And even I know one year, I don't remember what year it was. We didn't have I think we ended up 5-6 that year, if I remember correctly. The one year, only losing record I had as a player was that one year. And we went into the Richmond game and they were playing to go to the playoffs and we beat them. Oh, it was awesome. Took away,
that's great.
beat them, took the cup, and managed to keep them from going to the national playoffs. So that was
What a good feeling.
that was a great feeling. I look back on that time and it was good. It was fun. It was at home too. We'd had a rough year. We'd had a bunch of injuries, a bunch of dudes that got hurt, guys that didn't perform as well as we'd hoped. That was coming off of a couple of years. We'd gone to the playoffs in a row. So missing the playoffs that year, but beating Richmond. That was the bittersweet, but it was definitely sweet
Yeah,
there. So
ruining their season.
yes, exactly, and I'm looking forward. I'm probably gonna have to come up and watch I'm gonna have to go back to Richmond and go into the Richmond Stadium one more time, and shout out to, Matt Joyce, if you're out there anywhere. He was a 4-year starter for Richmond that, we managed to beat all 4 years. He was an All-American, all that stuff, defensive lineman, great defensive lineman, but you never beat us, so sorry, Matt. Nice try. I don't carry any grudges or anything. That's so, all right, so last 2 questions here as we get down here to the end, Hayden, and I appreciate every minute you've given me. I've really enjoyed it. We got the national championship games tonight, so we don't wanna run too long here. We don't wanna miss the, Indiana. We agree Indiana's gonna probably take it tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. They're so
What was it? How
dominant.
did you describe Indiana earlier when we were talking?
They're the most dominant football team, college football team I think I've ever seen play.
All right,
I
man.
mean,
You're
just
gonna
all
you're gonna have
around.
some Miami Hurricanes and Nebraska Cornhuskers and some Florida State Seminoles kinda upset with you there, but that's
Well,
not I don't think
I
that's too
wasn't
far off.
alive then. I
Yeah,
I
okay.
wasn't alive then.
You said you did
Since
you did qualify with I've ever seen. That's
yeah, since I've been able to comprehend the game of football.
That's fair, that's fair. They don't and I said they don't beat themselves, they don't make mistakes, man, they don't turn the
No.
ball over, they're not getting stupid penalties, they
Mhm.
get themselves in front of the chains and they stay there, so it'll be
Yeah.
interesting to see how
There's gonna be
Miami.
2 great offensive lines playing tonight
Oh,
too.
yeah, for sure. I will say the Miami offensive lines, they if they decide to run the ball and they can run the ball on Indiana's defensive line, I think that will make it an
Yeah,
interesting
it'll keep
game,
it
but
interesting. Yeah.
yeah, if they can't run the ball, I don't see Carson Beck being able to carry it, and I think Mr.
No.
Tony, I don't know how effective he'll be with guys that know where to line up and don't jump off sides when it's 3rd and short. It'll be an interesting game. So, any characters you got? Tell me, and I've said this before, the offensive line room is full of characters, funny dudes that think outside the box, see things differently, prioritize food over anything else. Any characters, any funny stories that you can share for us? Our second to last question here to give us and shed some insight and give us some insight into what that offensive line room is like.
It is. I'm just cracking up thinking about it. We got some characters, let me tell you. Um, I don't even know where to start. I don't even know where to start.
Weirdest
So,
weirdest obsession. How about that? Start with that. Who's got the weirdest?
weirdest obsession. Okay. My good friend Luca O'Day, he will be our center this year, hopefully. He loves watching anime
Oh, okay.
and loves donuts and loves eating. Um, his diet on a daily basis, like in season, his diet on a daily basis consists of donuts, peanut M&Ms, and water.
That's so give me a caloric intake amount. Total caloric
Uh,
intake in a day for him.
so he doesn't really eat breakfast or lunch. He'll eat he'll have water and peanut M&Ms before practice, and then after practice, his dinner will be like probably like eight or 10 donuts.
That's
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
he's part
Um,
elf. He's part elf, just running on
Yeah.
sugar.
So he claims that he can out eat anybody in the offensive line room, which I thought that I was up there, but I will forfeit that to him if he wants that.
He's
Uh
impressive.
yeah, he's impressive. He can put down some food. And then we have one of our freshman offensive linemen. He'll be a sophomore next year, but his name's Miles. He is 6'9",
Wow.
very upwards heavy. He's above 350. He's a
Okay.
big boy. He is a character. We go to Freddy's, and Freddy's is a local burger joint
Yep.
in Williamsburg. We go there. That's our Thursday night tradition. We go there every
Okay. Yeah,
Thursday.
I was gonna say
And
most guys have
yeah.
pregame Thursday night, Friday night
So as an
traditional
offensive
food
lineman,
places.
we go there, and Big Miles will order like 3 burgers and just go down the other table, have his headphones on, just eat. Well, love him to death for that, but that's a good one too. So when we go to Freddy's, we measure who ate the most by number of patties. Right now, the record I think is 10 patties set by Luca, who I was telling you all about. I was telling you about. So the most I've ever
10
gotten is 8.
patties.
So 10 patties.
That's
Yeah.
5 doubles.
Yeah, so we order them by quads. So I'll walk in there and I'll say I'll have 2 quads. Yeah, we're not. There's a lot of bread. We don't need all that bread. We just want the patty.
Just a pat. Yeah, we're on
Yeah.
that keto, trying to get
Um.
that getting the ketosis there with just the meat, right? Just the meat and
Yeah,
cheese.
but we got. I don't.
Those are great memories, great stories,
Yeah,
man.
I
You
just don't
gotta
even. There's so many more. There's just
you
so
gotta
many
appreciate
guys.
somebody can eat 10 patties in a sitting. That's just super impressive. All right, so this leads me to my last question, and this is kind of like I call this like a guilty pleasure type of question. You're getting ready to head out on the field. You're sitting there in that nice locker room they got built for you with all those bright lights shining with your name on it and everything. And you're getting ready to walk out of the tunnel. You guys getting ready to run out on the carry field. You're going to take your earbuds off and put them down. What are you listening to? What's that last song? What's that last song that's getting you right, that focus and let your body and your system know that it's game time?
Yeah, from the Bell
Yeah,
Tolls, Metallica.
Metallica, Whom the
That's
Bell
my
Tolls. Okay.
go-to.
All right, I like that. I like that. That's a nice little heavy, little guitar heavy.
Yeah, I love
Get
the
you
intro. Like the bell, it's just beautiful. And then it gets
and
in. It's like, damn it.
yeah, and then it goes and you're gone. All right, I like that. Well, Hayden, I appreciate you showing up here tonight, man. And I look forward. I hope we hope to do this a couple times during the season, man, and touch base with you and check on the tribe and check and
Yeah.
see how progress is going through the season next year and see some of these guys. Maybe we do a live remote from Freddy's one night and
Yeah, well, we need that.
watch the burgers going down. I would appreciate that. So tell me a little bit, is your Underdogs OL, is there any place that you have any information out about that? If there's anybody in the Williamsburg area that is looking to get an
Yeah,
offensive line training, where can they go and get some information about that?
absolutely. You can follow my Instagram at Underdogs O Line. So I've actually last Saturday had my first session. In Richmond. I had four kids show up. It went great.
Good for
Two
you.
kids are already committed. One's committed to Morgan State. One's committed to Howard. So and then I had two freshman boys. So their level of experience was very broad, but it went great. I think they enjoyed it. So I'm looking to do another session this Saturday. I already have 3 kids signed up, so I'm looking for more. I'm trying to build my client base in Williamsburg because that's where I'm primarily going to be. I would love, if anybody's watching this, I would love to help you or your son. I would love to. It'd be an honor.
That's awesome. So Underdogs OL, that's the Instagram. And
Yes, sir.
Hayden will be there he'll be up in Richmond next weekend, but he's trying to open that up and expand it. Anything in the Williamsburg and Newport News area, if anybody's looking
Mm-hmm.
to get some offensive line training, he's the guy. Check it out, Underdog OL. And as we sign off here tonight, I want to remind everybody, master the trench, you'll win the war. Have a good night. Hope you're enjoying Trenchometry. Assuming that you are, please hit that like button and subscribe. Remember, master the trench, you win the war.